Today, I wanted to do a sort of state of the union for Marvel Comics, just talking about what's going on currently with Marvel in the future and what I think of it, because I'm generally more of a DC guy, but I do like Marvel, and there's a lot of Marvel characters that I really love, and I think they have a lot of cool characters over there. It's just that as of late, as of these past couple of years, Marvel has not been doing a good job. They have a few things there that are good, but for the most part, they're very lost. Their leadership is terrible, and their strategy is just throw everything at the wall, but then nothing seems to stick. And also, they like to remind you of when things were good. They're like, hey, remember Marvel Zombies? We're doing it again. Hey, remember Age of Apocalypse? We're doing it again. Hey, remember Planet Hulk? We're doing it again. And that's always a sign of a thriving publication, is when they have to throw back to when things were good, because things right now are not so great. Now, despite all that, there are some good comics that I'm enjoying from Marvel right now. I'll go through the list of comics I'm liking from them right now. Undead Iron Fist is really good. It's a miniseries and it's only 2 issues in, but I'm enjoying it. I like Danny Rand being back. Incredible Hulk has been the most consistent comic at Marvel since Philip Kennedy Johnson took over, and it's about to get rebooted with a new number one and going under Infernal Hulk, which, that's a Marvel thing. They love to reboot the new number ones. They love it. They definitely couldn't have continued the Incredible Hulk numbering and just had this story arc called Infernal Hulk. Nope. Definitely had to make a whole new title. We got Captain America from Chip Zdarsky that I'm enjoying right now. The first 2 issues weren't too good. I wasn't really buying in. And then issues 3 and 4 were pretty good. I enjoyed it. I liked it. Seeing Captain America go against Doom, that was pretty cool. And it sets up some things for the future that could be interesting depending on where Zdarsky takes it. Punisher Red Band's only 2 issues in, but I'm enjoying that right now. Marvel Knights Punisher is only 1 issue in, and sadly it's a miniseries, but it was really good. Jimmy Palmiotti writing Punisher. I'm really happy about that. Dan Panosian is so good on art. It looks amazing. Ultimate Wolverine is another book that's going to be ending soon because the whole Ultimate Universe is ending, which I'll get into in a minute. But I've been enjoying that for the most part. Slowed down a bit, but I'm still liking it. And that's it. Sadly, 3 of those are series that are going to be coming to an end, so who knows? And also several of these are new series as well. Basically, over the past couple of years, the only consistent Marvel comic that I've really enjoyed is Incredible Hulk. Other than that, every time I dip my toe into something, it's like, I remember Marvel also, they still do Star Wars, but there's not a single good Star Wars comic worth reading right now, which is sad because, you have that property. You think you would have like some talent that would want to do a Star Wars story, but they just can't churn out any good Star Wars comics right now. But let's get into the ending of the Ultimate Universe, because it was announced like earlier, like I don't know, months ago, that the Ultimate Universe was going to be ending. They went into it a little bit more with New York City Comic Con. They're going to be doing Ultimate Endgame, because again, it's another. Remember when Marvel was good? Remember when you guys liked our stuff? Remember Endgame? So they're doing Ultimate Endgame, and Hickman is having no part of it. It's going to be Denise Camp. He's handing off the reins to him because Hickman came in. He was the architect of this new Ultimate Universe. He had this big idea, brought to Marvel and everything, and then he did what he always does, which is he got bored and quit. And so Denise Camp is going to be finishing it. So that was very funny. And Marvel's very adamant about this is a true ending. They're not going to be bringing it back. That's obviously a lie. The Ultimate Universe, I guarantee, will be rebooted with new number ones in 2026. I guarantee it. We have no announcements about that right now, but if I had a firstborn, I'd stake that firstborn on it. It's gonna happen. Nothing Marvel loves more than a new number one, and with how popular the Ultimate Universe is, they're definitely going to be rebooting that. And it's interesting to think that they're doing all this because, again, like I said, I'm not big into Marvel right now, but from the people I see that are really into Marvel, what they really like is the Ultimate Universe. I don't see a whole lot of people talking about mainline Marvel stuff, but I see a ton of people being like, oh man, this Ultimate book is really good, or this Ultimate book is really good. Me personally, I'm only reading Ultimate Wolverine because that's the only one I've stuck with. I was reading Ultimate Spider-Man, and it kind of fell off a cliff. It did what Hickman always does again, which is comes out really strong out the gate, and then like 8 or so issues in, it just hits a wall. The pacing hits a wall. It's not really interesting anymore, and that's what Ultimate Spider-Man did for me. So I fell off it. I read the first couple issues of the Ultimates, and it was really bad. So I jumped off of it. I know a lot of people love it, but I personally didn't really care about it. And I think that's all the Ultimate books. I read a little bit of Peach Momoko's X-Men, but that is very that is for a very specific taste. And I don't have that taste. I didn't really care for it, but it's for a very specific group of people that I think will really enjoy it. But it's not like it's not what you expect from an Ultimate X-Men book. And that's all I've read from the Ultimate Universe. And the Ultimate Wolverine was the only one that I'm like, I'll continue giving my money to this because I am enjoying it and I want to see what keeps happening. But that's going to be ending soon. But other than the end of the Ultimate Universe, what else did they talk about at New York City Comic Con? They got some new series announced. We got an Iron Man series from Joshua Williamson. I'm hyped for that because I think Josh Williamson's been in his bag lately. There was a time a few years ago where Josh Williamson was spread way too thin. I mean, if you went to your comic shop on any given Wednesday and looked at the new comic wall, there's a good chance that about half of those books were written by Joshua Williamson. That guy was writing so many comics, but he cut back on all that. He's only writing a few titles, and he's been killing it lately. I've really been loving what he's been doing on G.I. Joe and Superman. He's been doing a really good job. He's been writing these KO miniseries and spinoffs, so I'm excited. I like what Williams is doing right now. I think he's at the top of his game, and I'm excited to see what he does with Iron Man, especially because Iron Man's been one of those characters at Marvel that's just been in hell for a while. So if he can get Tony Stark back on track, I think that could be cool. You'll never believe it. They're rebooting Moon Knight again with Jed MacKay. It's going to be Mark Spector Moon Knight #1. Jed MacKay, ever since he took over Moon Knight, 2023? I think this is like the 4th reboot they've done. Marvel is just, damn, they are just obsessed with rebooting. That's all they do. So that got announced. We also got a new Deadpool book from Benjamin Percy. It's going to be Wade Wilson, Deadpool #1, and Jeff Shaw is going to be on art. So that could be good. Ben Percy's kind of a workhorse at Marvel, and he's generally pretty solid. So I'm excited about that. But yeah, he's one of those guys at Marvel that they just kind of get to write everything. And generally speaking, every time I pick up a Ben Percy book, it's pretty good. You're not going to be disappointed most of the time. I think he's one of the more solid writers at Marvel. But there's still no direction for Marvel right now. I think they've announced some more symbiote events. Noel's going to be having a series. Again, the X-Men are like doing an Age of Apocalypse type thing right now. They're going to be doing more Marvel Zombies. We got like a Planet Hulk and a Planet She-Hulk. There's no direction. One World Under Doom is still going on currently. That's going to be ending soon. Remember One World Under Doom? Remember that was a big deal when Doctor Strange had to give his powers to Doom, and then we got One World Under Doom. And no one really cares. I read one issue of the One World Under Doom series, and it was Reed and Doom debating on a daytime TV show. It wasn't the worst comic I've ever read, but it wasn't something that stuck with me either. It wasn't something that felt impactful like it should be. It's just like, why are we going in 800 different directions? What is the leadership at Marvel doing? Comparatively, if you look at DC, everything's like going in the same direction. Everything's like, we got KO right now. We're going to be very invested in KO, and this is going to set up things for the future after that. We got our Absolute line. It seems like they're very much like, things are very much headed in the same direction. Everyone's on the same path, and I like that, to where Marvel's like, we're going in 800 different directions, and 799 of them are directions we've gone before. So we're just trying to throw back to that to get people excited about it, because be like, remember when Marvel was good? That's also something that I've seen unanimously, as far as my Twitter feed goes, as far as how fans feel about the announcements coming out of New York City Comic Con, was I saw everyone on my Twitter feed being like, oh man, this stuff from DC looks so cool. Marvel, fight back, please. Give us something to be excited about. And they're like, here's another X-Men event that's going to suck ass. Here's some symbiote stuff. And it's like, Marvel, what are you guys doing? I want you guys to be good. DC's been pummeling you. Like, I am more of a DC guy, but I want Marvel to be good. And, competition is a good thing. And if you're just crap in the bed constantly, also the problem with Marvel being bad is, for some reason, DC always has this weird inferiority complex to where even when they're winning, they're looking at Marvel losing. They're looking at Marvel like sitting on a knife and being like, should we sit on a knife? Marvel's doing it, and they've been the industry leader. Maybe we should do that. And then they go do it. It's like, no, don't do that. DC tends to do that a lot, where they'll be doing great, they'll be ahead, and then they're like, but what dumbass retarded thing is Marvel doing? Maybe we should do that. It's like, no. So with Marvel doing more crappy, stupid stuff, there's a good chance DC might get into that. I hope that doesn't happen. Another thing with Marvel that confuses me is, what is Patrick Gleason doing? I remember years ago, because Patrick Gleason, I think, is one of the best artists in the industry. He also is a good writer too. And I remember after him and Tomasi got kicked off Superman for Bendis, so sad. After that happened, he then signed an exclusive with Marvel. And I was like, oh man, I wonder what he's gonna do. And I think he did a little bit of Spider-Man, and then they stuck him on covers. And now I don't think he's really doing anything. And it's like you finally have a top tier writer that's exclusive. I mean, artist that's exclusive to Marvel. He's a great writer too, but he's mainly known for his art. You have an exclusive top tier artist, and you don't have him doing anything? Because generally speaking, when it comes to the art, you go to DC and they have a lot of great artists there. You go to Marvel, and generally speaking, you look at the cover and you're like, ooh, pretty cover. You look at the interiors and you're like, that's not even half as good as the cover. Dear God, this is an ugly comic. Like, that happens a lot. To where DC, generally speaking, has the better artists. And they have Patrick Gleason, one of the best, and he's just like on house arrest, I guess? I don't know. I don't know what he's doing right now. I just checked his Twitter feed to see what he's doing, and it looks like it's Amazing Spider-Man covers. He did a variant for Predator versus Spider-Man, and that's it as far as I can tell. And I believe he's still exclusive at Marvel as far as I can tell. I don't see him doing anything else. So they just have him on cover duties. Why? Why are you wasting this guy on covers? Come on, give him something. Give him something to do. And it's unfortunate because Marvel does have a few really good artists, but one of their best they have on covers. And that just, again, is like, why are you doing this? You want to get people to buy your comics. Imagine sticking them on one of these series. Imagine sticking them on a Captain America. Like, that would be really cool. Instead, you got them doing covers, and that's it. It's like, what are we doing here, Marvel? Why is this the case? It's just sad that the future of Marvel doesn't really hold much to get excited for, especially when you look at DC and there's so much to get excited for. And I'm not saying Marvel needs their own big event or something. I'm just saying, like, consistent, good ongoings. That's what I want. I want something to where, like, I know it's gonna be. I want more Incredible Hulks, because Incredible Hulk has been great for it's like 30 issues or however long it's been going. Like, we need more of that, but there's not much else you can look to because everything gets rebooted and they don't put the best creative teams on there, and they don't have the best ideas. They're constantly rehashing old ideas. I mean, X-Men has been trashed forever. There was like that tiny little bright spot at the beginning of Krakoa, but then again, Jonathan Hickman did what Jonathan Hickman always does, which got bored and it was bad after a little bit. It was good at the beginning and then just quickly fell off a cliff. And that just seems to be the Marvel way right now, where there's just not much you can really sink your teeth into. They just can't really get it figured out. It's like you should always have a good Wolverine book going on. You should always have a good Spider-Man book going on. You should be looking at your core characters and really being like these characters, we need to get the creative teams right on there and get some good comics out. But Marvel don't seem to be doing that right now. But I hope they can course correct. I hope they can get some leadership. They need their own Scott Snyder. And it's obviously not Jonathan Hickman because he will just abandon ship and leave. So they need someone. And they got to find someone to lead that ship because it's not the editors at Marvel. They don't know what the hell they're doing. So hopefully someone can come in and Marvel will actually trust a talented person to lead the ship, but doubt that's going to happen. Anyways, I want to hear from you guys in the comments below. What do you think about what's going on currently at Marvel? And what are your favorite Marvel comics that you're reading right now? I want to hear from you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see y'all later.
Hey, skinny boy, saucy boy, I be running to the bank. Yeah, you know I hit the gas in the whip full tank. Riding past the ocean while I'm listening to Frank.